Hello, my name is Dan Hazlett. I'm the Student Government Association Advisor here at Stanley Community College. Welcome to Stanley SOAR. SOAR stands for Student Organization and Activities Recognition. This show is dedicated to highlighting the many different student organizations that are active on the campus of Stanley Community College. Each show will feature a unique organization and the positive work they do in the lives of our students, our campus, and our community. It's a pleasure to welcome to our show today the 3Ks on campus, representing the Human Services Club, Kelly, Kara, and Keisha. Kelly Deal and Kara Finch are the advisors for our Human Services Club, and Keisha Smith is the president of the club. And it's a pleasure to have you with us today on our SOAR show as we continue to feature our student organizations. And one of the most active organizations on our campus certainly is the Human Services Club. So we'll begin by just talking about the purpose and the connection with the curriculum.
Okay, well, the purpose of our club is actually, we have several different purposes. One is our students are allowed to come together. We're a fully online program, so this allows our students to come together, work with each other, have an opportunity to work as a team, but also get out into the community. So our students are able to take what they've learned in the classroom and apply it out in the community, whether it's the active listening, working with individuals in diverse situations, cultural differences, and things like that.
Okay, and the program is the Human Services Program,
yes,
which is what, a 2-year program?
It is a 2-year program, yes. We have the 2-year Human Services Technology degree, and we also have a Substance Abuse degree, which falls under that umbrella as well.
Of course, that's a misnomer when we say 2 years. Some students finish faster, some students take a little longer, and as long as we get them finished and get them out in the workforce, we're happy.
Absolutely.
Keisha, let's start by just a little bit about you. What brought you into the program? What appeals to you about the program and your interest in that area?
So I started in the Human Services Program fall 2018. I basically just wanted to get out into the community and, make sure that people understand, the aspects of knowing how to get the help that they need without going through people that maybe sometimes they can't trust. When you decide to go into the Human Services Program, you get with people who you can trust, who help you get to the places that you want to be by giving you ideas and opportunities to choose the right choices.
Very, very interesting. What's been your favorite class? Well, I don't know. That may not be a fair question. You have 2 instructors right here with you. That may not be a fair question.
Well, not so much. As she said, all the classes are online, so we really don't see each other much. But I think my favorite was the, I think all of them they kind of work in conjunction together.
She's going to be politically
correct.
You've trained her well. She's not going to take any sides with anybody. Well, let's talk about the Human Services Club, one of our most active student organizations, certainly on campus and in the community. Your favorite activity that you've done?
My favorite activity has been the Pregnancy Resource Walk. Last year we went down to the YMCA Pavilion downtown Albemarle, and we participated in the walk. It was a lot of people that was there. It was a lot of testimonies, a lot of people giving their opinions on, the Pregnancy Resource Center and things that they went through while they were going through their pregnancies. It was a really good program.
And one of our goals on campus is to build leadership with our students. Our goal is that when you finish the program, you're not only certainly qualified in the skill set areas of that program, but that you have had the opportunities to learn how to be a leader, so you'll grow in that program, in that job, become a leader at your position.
Correct.
5 years from now, where would we see you?
Hopefully I would be at one of the agencies here. I've also looked in some of the organizations in Union County and Montgomery County, wanting to work into the Department of Social Services there.
And we appreciate your taking the leadership role as the president, right? The president of
Yes.
the Human Services Club. But you've been active last year and
Yes.
the year before last, right?
Yes.
With the club.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate that, and we hope that we've reached that goal. I think certainly with you, you've been a good leader on campus. Students look to you for leadership roles in the Student Government Association.
Thank you.
With the Human Services Club being so active there. Let's go back to Kara, a special awareness time for the Human Services Club or the Human Services area.
So really, there's not a special month for the Human Services program. There is in March for social work, and a lot of our students do choose to go into social work. But we also have some special awarenesses that we participate in here on campus and in the community. One of those is in February. It's Teen Dating Domestic Violence Awareness. And so we try to get information out, especially to our early college students, about teen dating violence and how to recognize that. And resources for them as well. We also try to get information out in September about suicide awareness. That is Suicide Awareness Month. And I personally spend a lot of time trying to educate on prevention. And then we also have in May Mental Health Awareness Month, and so we try to share information about that. In April, we have Child Abuse Prevention Month, and so last year we actually had someone from the Guardian Ad Litem program here in Stanley County come and speak about that as well.
That was a very successful program in our auditorium. A large number of people, and televised, I think, put on YouTube with that. Very good. And that goes along so well with our student awards program that we do through the Student Government Association, where the organizations can do various activities and they get to mark that off a checklist. And if they do so many, then they receive that Soaring Eagle Award at the end of the year. And I know that was one of the ones that you highlighted on your form for that, having the Guardian Ad Litem. That's an interesting program. My wife does a lot of work with that. So for people who don't know, we'll even do a plug for the Guardian Ad Litem program. Somebody tell just a little bit about that.
Well, Guardian Ad Litems typically are volunteers. There's only a few individuals that are paid employees of the Guardian Ad Litem program, but those volunteers are actually given cases. They might be Child Protective Services cases. They could be Adult Protective Services cases. And basically they are to go out and advocate for that child. So their main goal is to make sure that that child's needs are met and the decisions for that child are for the best of that child, not what the parents want, not what the social worker wants, but what that child needs.
I hear that all the time at my house. And my wife is working today on some training for this evening, as a matter of fact, and she was kind of like, leave. I need to get busy on getting ready for this evening. Certainly a valuable program, and I don't think very many people on campus were really aware of it until you brought the speaker on campus last year for that, and we do appreciate that. That's such a good contribution to the campus when the organizations bring those outside people here and then open that program to the rest of us so we can learn more about that. Anything else about the program that you'd like to highlight while we're talking about Human Services and the Human Services Club?
Well, one thing I do want to mention is that we do allow anyone to participate in our club. So you do not necessarily have to be a Human Services student to be in the Human Services Club. We have students that are in the transfer program or have been, and they choose to participate in our club because their ultimate goal is to become a social worker, and they're moving forward with their 4-year degree, or they're going to do something to help others in the community. And so we welcome anyone on campus to come and join us and participate in what we're doing.
Very good. Keisha, let's go back to the leadership opportunities. If you looked at yourself when you came on campus and where you are now, what would you say are some of the strengths that you've gained from participating in the Human Services Club?
A lot of my strengths come from being able to speak about certain things that we've covered in class in some of our, seminars. Last year we went to a conference that was held in, I think it was Asheboro, I believe it was, and we went through the conference. It was like a whole day, and a lot of the moments that took place in that conference, it made it, a little bit more easier to understand what you were actually getting yourself into as far as the Human Services program. sometimes it may seem like, you know, that you're not getting a lot of places or getting anywhere with the program because you don't know exactly what you're getting yourself into. But once you hear a lot of the victims' impacts that's been there, done that, and now they, you know, have risen to do some great things with themselves, it's been a eye-opener for a lot of us that took place in the conference last year.
And I hear that all the time from students. Once I got involved in an organization, took a leadership role, one of the things that happened to me, I got over some of my fear speaking before a group of people. And we even had one of our club presidents who said, you know, a year ago, I would have never sat in this chair and done this show. And now I'm glad to be here and talk about my program. When you're proud of something and you know you've accomplished a lot, you know the organization's accomplishing a lot, it's easier to talk about it, isn't it?
It is.
On campus, one of our all-campus activities all of our organizations contribute to is our food pantry, and I know the Human Services Club has done a lot with that. Can you just talk a little bit about your participation in that?
The Human Services Club, did participate in the food pantry. We normally try to get a lot of non-perishable items to donate to the food pantry. Outside of the food pantry, we also donated at the community inn. We have done some feeding the homeless. We have also volunteered at the Habitat for Humanity, doing a lot of things like that. But basically, with the food pantry, I think it normally comes around sometimes around holidays, but just when the community feels like it's a need to try to get a lot of non-perishable items out to the food pantry to give out to some of the people.
And certainly that has been a good addition to our campus, having that food pantry. Students sometimes just need something quick almost for a weekend, or there's been some immediate emergency, and we provide basically the peanut butter and jelly is what I say, peanut butter jelly cereal. If we can keep that on the shelves, a little bit of canned fruit, you know, we're going to be able to help students as they need it. And then certainly, as the Human Services Club do, we work with those community organizations, the community table. We did have a clothing closet, but it has worked better that we combine that with Stanley County Christian Ministries and West Stanley Christian Ministries and contribute toward that. But now, last Christmas, did you work with the coat drive last Christmas?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, Human Services was one of the, well, you had this building that we're in today, I think, was the building that you all were in charge of. Do you remember that project? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so each club was given a certain building to collect the coats, and so we actually donate those to Christian Ministries, and those are given out to individuals who are in need. But we also had some students here that were able to benefit from that drive as well.
Right. Each of the organizations took a building, did the Christmas boxes to collect, brought them all here to the library, and we did open it to our students first, and then on the day we finished classes. As a matter of fact, our next guest is going to be Kelly Deal, and Kelly was one of the people who helped pack all those coats and scarves and to take to the Christian Ministries. We did here on the Albemarle campus, we did Stanley County Christian Ministries. At the Crutchfield campus, we did West Stanley. Took the coats that were left after our students had gotten what they needed for from the coat drive. Coats, scarves, gloves, jackets, that kind of thing. And this probably is just as good a time as any to announce we're going to be doing that again this Christmas.
Great.
So if you want your building back, you could we're here in the Snyder building where the TV studio is, classrooms, and the library. So you have a lot of people to collect from here. But we will be doing the coat drive again this year. Then I think SGA is going to do for Christmas party what we're calling a sock hop, and people are going to bring socks. The coats could be used coats, but the socks, of course, we're going to have you bring a decorated Christmas tree with socks, and then we'll divide those socks between Albemarle Christian Ministries and West Stanley Christian Ministries.
That's a great idea.
So I know you all will be the first group in there helping with that. So thank you for being here. We're going to keep Keisha. We're going to bring Kelly in, Kara, so she can talk a little bit about her experiences with the Human Services Club, but best wishes for a successful year in the program and certainly with the Human Services Club.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure to work with you all always.
Thank you.
Another of the Human Services Club advisors is a gal here on campus. It's been a pleasure to work with for, we were just talking, Kelly, what, 18 years now you've been here at Stanley, and we appreciate the good work that you have done with the Human Services program. First as a part-timer and then as full-timer now for a number of years. And I always laugh that I never see you that you're not on a mission. It's like, get out of this woman's way. She is to go on a mission. She has something she has to do. You know, she'll tell us if she needs us to help her, and otherwise let her go at it. We appreciate the work that you do, and especially the work you do with the Human Services Club. From an advisor's perspective, what do you see as the value in the students being involved in an organization like the HR Club?
I think because we emphasize a lot of volunteering and a lot of community service, I think that gives the students an opportunity to come together as a team, to practice some of their communication skills. They have the opportunity to get a lot of great practice. They have a chance to take some of those core human services skills that we talk about in the classroom and see if they can put those to practice.
And I think that's the strength of just about all of our student organizations, is that opportunity to put to work the things that you've learned in the classroom, to take it to a whole different level. You know, you're actually doing that project, you're doing that service. I said the HR Club, but really HS Club, Human Serves, Human Services. And that is the basis, I think, for everything that your group does, that serving aspect. A very interesting angle, I think, on things, always looking for a way to serve, to help. Not always doing something for yourselves, but always looking at what you can do for other people. I guess that's really how it ties into the program, right?
It is. It's amazing how many students we have that come to us and they want to join the Human Services program. And so many of them say that they feel like working in the human services field is a calling, that there's something deep inside them that they've just always felt like they wanted to give back to others, to make a difference in people's lives, where they want their future employment not to just be a job, but to be something that they're passionate about, you know, to have a real strong feeling that, you know, when they come home at the end of the day, they've actually, you know, had an impact in someone's life. So yeah, that becomes a big part of it. We've also had students that come to us and they say, you know, for whatever reason, I was always one of those students that my friends seem to come to ask about my problems. And so maybe it's something deep down inside of them. Maybe they have some good communication skills that they can use, you know, as far as relationship building, you know, trying to get along with others. And so I think it really is a calling. You know, people come in the door wanting to work in a lot of different areas. We provide classes in you know, counseling, crisis intervention. Some people want to work in the substance abuse counseling field, developmental disabilities. No matter what population of people they want to work with, you know, often there's an agency for them. And so we provide, you know, a real wide range of classes to kind of support that.
And I've heard students say, I don't know exactly what it is I'm going to learn to do, but I know this is the area I want to go into.
Exactly.
And really aren't aware of the job possibilities until they get into the program and realize, I think most from my view, most students come in thinking working in social services, but so many other areas to go into. I think somewhere along the way you had a guy who was Christian ministries, wanted to be a youth worker, and
right,
human
yes.
services was a way to learn some of those skills.
Exactly.
And that, would you agree with what she said, Keisha?
I agree with 100%, yes.
You felt that calling?
Yes.
We're putting pressure on you now. You felt that? You felt the call?
No, actually you do, and just like it still emphasized the fact that whenever you have a lot of friends or family members that come to you for advice, you feel like you know how to answer their questions, or you feel like you can help them get to the next walk of life with just certain words that can be said, and about getting out helping people in the community. Anything that you can do to help anyone, it's always a great day, no matter where you are.
Now we're about to graduate, Keisha. Is it going to be safe for me to take a problem to Keisha?
I think so.
I think we've trained her well.
I think she's in good hands.
I think she has been a good one along the way, definitely. with that. Again, we always come back to that word leadership. When we talk about the support of student organizations from the college, from the president, through the SGA, the financial support, just all that the school has done through the years to promote student organizations, the goal is to develop that leadership. What particular areas do you see the students gaining strength in by doing a student organization?
Personally, I see them gaining strength as far as public speaking. They learn to, to talk in our club meetings. They have an opportunity when we take our students to our annual conference to develop their core skills. They'll have a chance to network with other students, with other professionals. And again, just to have an opportunity to kind of share what's going on in our program and kind of check it out with theirs. Again, just many opportunities to kind of emphasize the communication.
And the team building.
The team building,
I hear that a lot.
And we could not
the
do...
opportunity to work as a group rather than
Right.
always working as an individual.
We could not do what we wanted to do within our program without the students joining together. And they're there to support each other. It's amazing to me how much time that they do dedicate to these events. Sometimes Kara and I feel like we're asking a lot of our students by trying to complete some type of community service project every month. And that may be on campus with the SGA, it may be off campus, just out in the community. So there's again, there's a lot of opportunities. But yeah, it surprises me how much time they can commit, because I understand that students have a life outside of school. They have families and jobs and children and other responsibilities, and so we're just always real thankful for that.
But it's activities that prepare them for those jobs.
Exactly.
And one of the things I hear a lot from students is that opportunity to take the responsibility. In the classroom, the instructor kind of says, here's what you need to do, and you do that and fulfill that. In our student organizations, it's up to you to decide what you want to do and to what extent you're going to do it, how successful that project's going to be. Am I thinking right there? Is that one of the things you would say you've gained strength, just that accepting the responsibility of something?
Yes, absolutely. When you go into certain projects that you want to take on, you have to make sure that everyone is trying to work on their strengths, and anything that they feel a little adamant about, that they also have their team members that help them get through whatever it is that they're not 100% sure about. When you take on that type of responsibility, you just want to make sure that whatever it is that you do, you try to be successful at it.
I know in doing references for students, one of the in words right now is how dependable is that student or that graduate. Can we depend on him to just take the ball and run with it and get something done? And I think the best way for us to see that is usually through the student organizations.
I agree.
They didn't do that because they had to do it for a grade.
Right.
They did that because they saw a need and wanted to fulfill that, and we were able to depend on them to get that done.
Those are some of those soft skills that you can't teach. Yeah, that's something a lot
Soft
of times
skills that
is
are very,
inborn.
very important skills.
Yes.
Sometimes people don't realize the importance of that until you go to a job and you're able to do the skill set, the things that we say you have to do to graduate from this program.
Right.
But have you learned the things that will make you successful in the job market? And those soft skills all of a sudden become the really important skills. So Keisha, we will look forward to your walking across that stage, probably as an honor graduate next spring.
Yeah.
Certainly as a recipient, I would think of one of our Student Leadership Awards that we give to outstanding student leaders on campus. So we hope you think your time here with Stanley has been very beneficial to you, and we look forward to seeing lots of successful things out of you in the future. Stay here in Stanley County. Don't look at me. No, you go where you can find, where your calling leads you, because that's where you'll be successful. Anything else you all can think about that we need to highlight with the program or with the Human Services Club?
I would like to bring attention to November the 1st. It's at Wade Technical Community College. The Human Services Program and the students, along with our advisors, will be going there for the North Carolina Human Services Conference for 2019. It's normally an all-day event. The SGA normally provides some of the funding for our students to be there, so we would like to thank them and other SGA advisors for all the help for helping us get there.
And that is one of the goals of, or one of the purposes of our Student Government Association, to give that financial support to allow our students to do activities like the Human Services Conference. And you're going to be at Wake Tech?
Yes, Wake Tech, yes.
One of the largest schools, if not the largest, of the community colleges in the state, I think now. I think I read somewhere that it had surpassed Central Piedmont as the largest in the state. So you'll enjoy being on the Wake Tech campus. Yep. For that conference. Speaking of successful students, let's go back and pick up your third advisor that you've brought on
Yes.
this year, who's one of your graduates, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes, this year we were very fortunate to bring Shayna Poole, who is a former student in our Human Services program, on as a program co-advisor. Shayna served in numerous capacities when she was in our program. She served as an officer, and has just, even after she has graduated and moved on, she has remained faithful and dedicated to our program. She is currently an employee here at the community college, so she was hired, and so she's here on campus with us, but continues to take an active role with our program and to support our students. And we joke with her and just tell her, she's just one of us now, and so she's a very, very significant part of our program.
Right, very successful graduate. Director of our testing center, right?
Director of our testing center. And Shayna did some part-time work here as well before she actually came on full-time. And I know she helped a lot with in the videoing and in a number of different areas. And so she was already an old staple around campus anyway before she was actually hired. But we are thankful to have her as part of our program.
And let's just go back to where we started. The favorite thing the Human Services Club has done?
When I think about that, every project is fun. We're there. Oftentimes we're there to help others, but it feels like we're the ones that receive the blessing. We're the ones that benefit and walk away, knowing that we've had an important part, in that experience. But if I had to pick one, I think about a lot of different projects we do over the years. But a couple of years ago, and I'm saying this, the weather's starting to cool off a little bit, and holidays are right around the corner, and so I was thinking back to a project that we did just a couple of years ago with the Partnership for Children here in Stanley County, and it was called Breakfast with Santa. And I loved it personally because they had all the Christmas decorations and the trees and everything, and it was really great. And so we took a group of students over that morning early, very early, and helped them get set up for breakfast and help serve and clean. And everything, the decorations were just awesome. And so it was a great time. Santa was there. A lot of families came from disadvantaged homes, bringing their kids, to give them a special morning to sit on Santa's lap and to have a good meal. And that was just a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a really special morning
Like
for
I
us.
remember seeing pictures from that. Well, again, on behalf of the college, thank you for the work you do not only on our campus, but certainly you're such good ambassadors for us in the community as the students go out and do all of these service activities. We appreciate that. You build our image so much by doing that. But most importantly, it's the value it gives that student, the learning, the things you learn in doing those student activities. We appreciate, Keisha, you're taking the leadership role. Any of our student organizations to be successful have to have good advisors, but they have to have a good student leader there pushing the other students along, and we appreciate your stepping up, taking that leadership role.
Thank
Again,
you.
the Human Services Program and our Human Services Club. We're glad to feature you this month.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Thank you for watching Stanley SOAR, our student organization and activities recognition show. Please tune to this channel again for future shows as we highlight the many different student organizations and their impact here on our campus and throughout our community.